Rappers who have had beef with athletes. Hip-hop and sports have had a long-standing relationship. There could be an entire video dedicated solely to some of the best athlete name drops in rap songs. On the track Thank Me Now, Drake once said about sports, quote, "I swear sports and music are so synonymous, cause we want to be them and they want to be us." Besides rappers' affinity for naming athletes in their songs, the two art forms have even more in common. They're filled with highly driven, highly competitive people whose ambition is to be the best in their field. When dealing with such highly competitive people in industries that are often so intertwined, it's only a matter of time until conflict arises. And for the rappers on this list, they soon find themselves at the center of conflict with a star athlete. Take a look at these feuds and tell us who you think was in the wrong here. Did a rapper's bar get misinterpreted? Was the rapper looking for smoke? Or was something else entirely at play? Before we begin, make sure you like the video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Now, here are 8 rappers who have had beef with athletes. Let's start at number 8. We got Lil B and James Harden. In recent years, it seems like Lil B has been beefing with basically everyone, from a Boogie with the Hoodie to the Game, and even the entire Reddit forum over feet pics. But one of Lil B's earlier beefs started for pretty rational reasons. In 2015, NBA player James Harden was having an amazing season with the Houston Rockets. Not only did he become the first Rocket to ever score 43+ points in consecutive games since 1981, he put up an amazing performance in the playoffs, setting the record for single-game record for turnovers. So naturally, Harden began to celebrate on the court. One of his go-to dances was a chef dance, and it didn't take long before Lil B claimed that the dance was ripped directly from his collaboration with Soulja Boy called Cooking Dance. In a world where a viral dance hit can equal literally millions of dollars of revenue for a rapper, it's no wonder that Lil B was upset. However, in an interview, Harden told the press that he had never even heard of Lil B or the song before. What did Lil B do? The most base thing possible. He placed a curse on James Harden as punishment. Number 7. Jay-Z vs. Deshawn Stevenson. Jay-Z has gone toe-to-toe with a fair amount of people over the course of his 2-decade career. However, because of his massive shadow cast by his legendary beef with Nas, many of his smaller feuds are forgotten about. And that's exactly what happened with his beef against Washington Wizards player Deshawn Stevenson back in 2008. Ironically, the feud started because an athlete made a rap reference rather than vice versa. After Deshawn called LeBron James overrated, James responded by saying he would not comment, because responding would be like Jay-Z firing back at Soulja Boy. Always in the mood for some free publicity, Soulja actually showed up to a Wizards game to support Stevenson. Because this was back in 2008, Soulja's involvement in the feud ends here. He didn't release a series of shots at Jay on the Breakfast Club the next day, and surprisingly, did not try to peddle an off-brand 2K-style game where he's every player. Jay-Z stayed publicly silent about the issue until he mentioned Deshawn in passing on his freestyle Blow the Whistle. On the track, Hov says, "Ask my boy LeBron, we so big, we ain't gotta respond." The feud was formally ended when James led the Cavaliers to victory over the Wizards. Number 6. Lil Wayne vs. Chris Bosh. Of all of the beefs on this list, this one may have gone from 0 to 100 the fastest. It all started back in 2013 when Lil Wayne up and left a Miami Heat game. He later turned to Twitter claiming he had been forcibly kicked out of the match. Weezy claims it was a targeted move by the Heat because he was there to support the Lakers. However, fans had a different perspective. Allegedly, Wayne was heckling Lakers player Dwayne Wade, hurling curses and making gun gestures. A representative from the Heat made a statement dispelling these rumors entirely, saying that Weezy chose to leave the game on his own accord and was not removed. Unfortunately, this did nothing to subside Wayne's anger. About a week later at an NBA All-Star event, Wayne took the opportunity to curse out LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Then, out of nowhere, Wayne told the world that he had an affair with Bosh's wife, Adrian. Adrian quickly took to Twitter to dispel the rumors, claiming they were completely unfounded. Wayne never responded to Adrian's denials, and the feud died there, which is probably better for Weezy, who comes off looking more than a little hot-headed here. Number 5. Chris Brown vs. CM Punk. Chris Brown versus professional wrestler is not a headline most people would have expected to see prior to Brown's feud with WWE wrestler CM Punk back in 2012. Then again, after his assault on then-girlfriend Rihanna in 2009, Brown began to develop a reputation as the music industry's wild card, capable of pretty much anything. But surprisingly, it was CM Punk, not Brown, who instigated the feud. Apparently, after Brown's album Fame won a Grammy for Best R&B Album, CM Punk became enraged that Chris was still experiencing success despite his history of domestic abuse and allegations of reckless behavior and drug use. Punk took to Twitter, saying, quote, "Me curb stomping that little turd would be a hashtag WrestleMania moment." Brown wasted little time responding, drafting a tweet that connected Punk's use of steroids to a failing performance in the bedroom. The two fired back and forth a few times, and the feud ultimately culminated with CM Punk appearing on Hot 97 to explain the motivations behind his original tweet. After the interview, it seemed like the two had cooled off and ended the feud. Number 4, 50 Cent versus Conor McGregor. If you had to elect a hot-headed representative from the rap game and the sports world, 50 Cent and Conor McGregor would be good choices respectfully. Both known for their love of trolling, sometimes arrogant viewpoints, and unwillingness to compromise, it was only a matter of time before these two paths crossed and got into a feud. And that finally happened in 2017. Right before the feud started, 50 Cent was doing something almost unprecedented. He was minding his own business. But McGregor was gearing up for a fight against Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent's infamous long-term frenemy, and decided to get 50 involved. After cursing out the rapper and claiming he and Mayweather were broke, 50 brushed off the insults, telling McGregor, quote, "You're fighting Mayweather, not me, fool." However, the beef continued all the way into 2018, when McGregor mentions 50 in a bizarre Instagram post celebrating his endorsement deal with Burger King. This time, 50 wasn't feeling so generous, and laid into McGregor in a racially charged, now deleted Instagram rant. The G-Unit boss compares most of McGregor's success to luck, and insists that white people have inferior genes when it comes to fighting. He capped it off with a claim that McGregor cheated on his then-girlfriend, Dee Devlin, with pop star Rita Ora. McGregor took one more half-hearted shot at 50 about his man boobs, before the two let the feud die. Number 3, T.I. versus Floyd Mayweather. Floyd is the only athlete on this list to be mentioned twice. Known for his showboating, his love of trash talk, and occasionally putting his foot in his mouth, Floyd sets himself up for celebrity feuds constantly. That's why he's a perfect match for T.I., a rapper who is also known for his foot and mouth comments, like the time he said he accompanies his daughter during her visits to the gynecologist. Back in 2014, T.I. took issue with Floyd after the rapper's wife, Tiny, attended one of Mayweather's fights in Las Vegas. According to Mayweather, the two are old friends and have always maintained a platonic relationship. But T.I. was enraged by the visit anyway. Later, T.I. was finishing up his night at a local Fatburger. Yeah, that's right. It turns out even rich celebrities love Fatburger. While there, who else did T.I. run into but Mayweather and his crew? The rapper approached the fighter, and a verbal altercation ensued. After a few moments, T.I. was caught on security video taking the first swing at Mayweather. A fight broke out between the two respective crews. Once the fight was broken up and the two went their separate ways, they seemed to have reached an understanding. Neither party had ever spoken about the feud in public again, and they seemed to have moved on from the disagreement. Number 2, Drake versus Draymond Green. When you think of Drake and beef, the first thing you think of might be his catalytic feud with good music rapper Pusha T. You know, the same feud that ultimately revealed the existence of Drake's son Adonis. And of course, we can't forget the situation with him and Kanye. However, Drake has been in several other beefs, and his feud with Draymond Green might just be a testament to his lines on Thank Me Now. Recently, Drake has become the official representative for the Toronto Raptors, the NBA's only non-American basketball team. This means that Drake is present at a ton of NBA games, and has developed a bit of a reputation as an enthusiastic but annoying sideline trash talker. Back in 2019, after the Raptors took home a playoff win against the Warriors, a camera captured a heated interaction between Drake and Draymond. Draymond can be seen inching closer to Drizzy, and Drake seems to mouth the word trash to Green. In a post-game interview, Draymond insisted that the interaction was not a scuffle and everything was okay. The two seemed to confirm this when they met up for dinner a few days later at a local Toronto restaurant. If Drizzy was as explicit about his rap beefs as he is on the court side, we might have a lot more diss records from the Six God. And at number 1, 50 Cent versus Floyd Mayweather. Just as Floyd Mayweather is the only athlete on this list to appear twice, 50 is the only rapper. So it's only fitting that the final entry on this list finds the two hotheads going toe-to-toe. 50 and Mayweather have had a long, complicated history together, fluctuating back and forth between friendship and rivalry. Basically, they're frenemies. The two have been friends since at least 2007, when it wasn't unusual for 50 to walk Mayweather into the ring at fights. The two even launched a film production company in 2011, and 50 supported Mayweather throughout his prison sentence in 2012. So how did a friendship like this go so wrong? The first seeds of discontent can be traced back to 50's appearance on the Ricky Smiley Show in 2012, where the rapper revealed that Mayweather only hung out with him when he feels generous, and that he was tired of waiting on Floyd. 50 solidified this beef when he turned to Floyd's longtime rival, Manny Pacquiao, to start a boxing promotion company. By the end of 2012, the duo were publicly feuding, and after Mayweather's run-in with T.I.'s wife Tiny in 2014, 50 sided with T.I., warning Mayweather to stay away. Perhaps the most infamous moment in the duo's rivalry came in 2014, when 50 trolled Mayweather by offering him $750,000 if he could read a full page out of a Harry Potter book. Since that moment, the two have been fluctuating back and forth from friends to enemies. Sometimes they'll feud over Twitter and Instagram, only to be spotted working out together at a gym. It seems to never end, and the two really are the Ross and Rachel of modern celebrity culture. So what do you guys think? Are they really beefing? Do the two love each other but just can't get along? Or is this all an elaborate publicity stunt? Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to click that like button and subscribe before you leave. Thanks for watching.